Welcome to the Explainer. Okay, let's dive right into this. For a lot of people, the Linux terminal can feel like a really intimidating place. You open it up and bam, you're just staring at this stark, blinking cursor on a pitch black screen. It kind of feels like a place strictly meant for intense coding, serious system administration, and absolutely zero mistakes, right? But what if I told you that the best way to master this environment isn't by stressing over complex manuals, but actually by just playing around? Today, we're going to completely demystify the command line. We're going to look at how having a little bit of fun can actually teach you deep, fundamental Linux skills, and we'll break it all down in very simple words. Here is our roadmap for today. We've got the lighter side of Linux, making terminal text pop, ASCII art and animations, combining commands with pipes, and finally we'll wrap up with this secret interview advantage. Let's get going. Section 1 is all about the lighter side of Linux. Let's uncover some of that hidden terminal humor. So, to instantly inject some personality into your system, you can use the fortune command. It's super simple. When you type fortune and hit enter, the terminal reaches into a database of text and just drops random quotes, jokes, or famous sayings right there on your screen. For instance, it might print out something like, Linux never sleeps. It's essentially a digital fortune cookie for your command line. Just by typing that one simple word, you're already learning how to execute a program and immediately getting an entertaining output. All right, moving on to section 2, making terminal text pop. It is time to transform plain text into some massive visuals. Now, the figlet command is incredibly simple, especially when you look at the massive result it actually produces. If you type figlet followed by a word like Linux, it takes that standard word and stretches it out into a huge structured banner. It uses something called ASCII art. And to explain that in really simple words, ASCII art is just a way of drawing pictures or large letters using only the regular characters on your keyboard, dashes, slashes, underscores, that kind of thing. It's just a brilliant way to create customized, totally unmissable headers for your scripts or your terminal sessions. And hey, if you want to take things even further, you can use the brilliantly named toilet command. It's actually very similar to figlet, but it comes with a whole lot more fonts and built-in effects. For example, if you type toilet-f big-capital F gay Linux, you are giving the terminal specific instructions. The -f big part tells it to use a large font, and that -capital F gay part applies a special filter that paints your resulting text with a brilliant, eye-catching rainbow effect. It's such a great, simple way to understand how command flags, those little dashed letters, can completely change how a program behaves. Up next is section 3, ASCII art and animations. Let's look at some really dynamic visuals now. So the crucial point of this next command is actually a lesson in typing carefully. One of the most common commands in all of Linux is ls, which simply lists out your files. But if you're moving too quickly, just typing super fast, you might accidentally type sl instead. Well, if you install the SL program, mistyping that command triggers a classic system admin prank. Instead of seeing your files, an animated steam locomotive will literally drive right across your terminal screen. You just have to sit there and watch the entire train go by before you can type anything else. It is hilarious, and honestly, it's a great, gentle punishment for typing too fast. Now, if you have ever wanted to look like a Hollywood computer hacker, the cmatrix command is exactly what you need. By simply typing cmatrix, your screen is instantly transformed into that iconic falling green code from the movie The Matrix. It is incredibly cool to look at, it makes for a fantastic terminal screensaver, and it completely shatters the illusion that command lines are visually boring. No way, they can look awesome. And the creativity absolutely does not stop there. Just look at these wild visual commands. If you run oneco on a graphical Linux setup, a little animated cat appears and literally chases your mouse cursor around the screen. Need to relax for a second? Run a fire and your terminal turns into this cozy, crackling fire made entirely out of keyboard characters. And the absolute masterpiece? Oh man, if you type telnet tau.blinkenlights.nl, your terminal will connect to a remote server and play an entire Star Wars movie. Seriously, painstakingly animated frame by frame in pure ASCII text. It is mind-blowing what people have created, all entirely within the standard text interface. Section 4. Combining commands with pipes. Let's see what happens when we start connecting these tools together. So, to connect commands, we use the pipe symbol, which is that straight vertical line character on your keyboard. In simple words, a pipe is exactly like a conveyor belt in a factory. Normally, when you run a command, it just spits its results out onto your screen, right? But a pipe catches those results and sends them straight into the next command as its raw material. This means you can stack programs together to create entirely new results. It's absolutely crucial to understand. It's one of the most powerful foundational concepts in all of Linux, and we can learn it just by goofing around. Let's look at the ultimate funny combination that perfectly proves how pipes work. Step 1, we run fortune to generate a random joke. Step 2, we use our pipe, our digital conveyor belt, to send that joke directly into a command called cowsay. Now, cowsay draws an ASCII cow and puts whatever text it receives right into a cartoon speech bubble. Step 3, we use another pipe to send that talking cow directly into lolcat, which is a command whose entire job is to paint whatever it receives in beautiful rainbow colors. So typing fortune, pipe cowsay, pipe lolcat gives you a rainbow cow telling you a joke. You can also pipe a giant figlet banner into lolcat for a massive colorful title. You're basically just playing with digital Lego blocks here. Of course, to get these fun commands, you do have to install them first. But whether you're using apt on Debian or Ubuntu, yum on older RHEL setups, or DNF on newer systems, practicing these installations actually builds your muscle memory. By executing these precise syntaxes to install SLA or cowsay, you are secretly training yourself for the exact same workflows you're going to need to deploy web servers, databases, and critical production software later on. You're learning the real deal while just having fun. Which brings us to Section 5, the secret interview advantage. This is all about showing your terminal comfort. When you're sitting in a job interview for a technical role, interviewers really want to know if you actually understand the environment, or if you just, memorized a textbook. Sometimes they'll ask, what fun or non-production Linux utilities do you know? And if you can confidently rattle off cowsay, fortune, figlet, lolcat, cmatrix, and SL, you send a very powerful message. It proves to them that you have genuine familiarity with the system. It shows that you're deeply comfortable in the terminal, that you explore out of curiosity, and that the command line feels like a second home to you. So learning really doesn't have to be a chore. By painting rainbow cows and running ASCII trains, you are mastering syntax, package managers, and the foundational logic of piping commands together. So my final question to you is this: which fun command will you install first to master your terminal? Go open up your command line, try these combinations, and start building your skills through pure creativity. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and happy terminal playing.